of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, welcome to the first meeting of the year 2024. This will be a reorganization meeting to begin with, and then we'll go into a regular meeting. There's certain things that have to be done during the reorganization meeting. First of all, I'm here to tell you that the eligibility and qualifications for town officers. Every elective officer of the town is an elector of the town of Highlands. Every town officer of the town has taken the oath of office. Every town officer is covered by a blanket undertaking and identifying against losses caused by the failure of the officers or employees to faithfully perform their duties or by their fraudulent or dishonest act. That's an insurance policy we have on everyone. There are no vacancies in the elected officers of the town. Appointments. Unless I say different, these appointments are for 1 year. The town attorney, Ryder, Wiener, and Frankel will be town attorneys at the 2024 pay scale. Lankin Tully.
You should.
Yeah, I should be making motion. Especially since we're short like this, I'll say it clearly. I'll make a motion. I need a second, and then we'll vote on it.
Okay.
So I need I make a motion that we appoint Ryder, Wiener, and Frankel as town attorney at the 2024 pay scale. That's a motion.
I'll second it.
Yes.
Aye. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Make a motion that the town engineer be Lankin Tully and others as needed. That's a motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
So carried. Sewer inspector, I'll make a motion that the sewer inspector be the highway superintendent, and the deputy sewer inspector would be the building inspector. That's a motion.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So carried.
Congratulations, Nancy. Now you're in the game, right?
Thank you, Rich.
I'll make a motion that the dog control officer be appointed Kathleen McGinnis as dog control officer at the 2024 pay scale.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Health officer, I'll make a motion that it'll be the Orange County Department of Health.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So carry. I'll make a motion that the budget officer will be Kelly Pacaro at the 2024 pay scale.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town historian, motion to appoint Ronnie Clark Coffey at the 2024 pay scale.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The emergency action coordinator, I'm going to suggest that it be vacant until we sit down and talk about who we might want to put in that position.
Okay.
I do have a couple of people that have asked me for it, and I'd rather not talk about somebody.
Okay.
That our past one. I'll make a motion that we appoint Gary Boyce at the 2024 pay scale highway superintendent.
And that one's 2 years?
Yes, I'm sorry, I should have said that. That's a 2-year.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
So carried. I'd like to appoint, or make a motion that we appoint Deputy Highway Superintendent Tiffany Mondelez at the 2024 pay scale. That's a stipend.
I'll second it. Nancy seconds it.
And that'll be a one-year term. Any of these getting stipends would be one-year terms. Executive assistant to the supervisor, I'd like to make a motion, we appoint Kelly Picaro at the 2024 pay scale, which is a stipend.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
So carried. The ambulance administrative services, I would like to make a motion, we appoint Kyle Charette at the 2024 pay scale stipend.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Did you want to add in the administrative stipend for the ambulance?
For the captain?
Yes.
I don't think we wanted to do that for some reason.
Okay.
I forget who I talked to about it, and it wasn't necessary.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we appoint Leslie Churchwell at the 2024 pay scale for water and sewer billing.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
So carried.
Bob, I'm sorry. The sanitation billing stipend,
Yeah?
Tiffany?
That's not on here?
No.
Okay.
The sanitation billing
Billing stipend,
for,
Tiffany Montalisi for the
okay,
2024.
okay. That's a motion?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
So carried. The next one, I'd like somebody else to make a motion.
Oh, treasurer, make a motion that Bob Livesey will be the treasurer for 2024.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So carried. And that's a stipend, by the way. I'll make a motion that we appoint Kelly Picaro at the 2024 pay scale for a 2-year term as controller.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
So carried. Make a motion that we appoint June Patterson as registrar.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So carried. Deputy registrar, make a motion that we appoint Leslie Peterson.
I'll second it.
Okay.
Leslie Peterson being the same person as Leslie Churchwell, just want to make that clear.
Oh.
Right?
Okay. Same
She's Churchwell on one, Peterson on the other.
Oh, all right. Make a motion that we appoint Phil Hannawalt as code enforcement officer.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So carried. Okay, the Assessment Board of Review, I haven't received any request from anyone. Ray Hall is, his term is up, so unless he lets me know he wants to be on it, we'll just table it. The Consolidated Zoning Board of Appeals, the village appointed someone,
I think it was Joe Murphy. It was his turn. I think so.
Joe Murphy, okay. Yeah, his term was up, so they must have reappointed him. Consolidated Planning Board, I'll make a motion that we reappoint Matt Johnson to the,
I'll second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. You all have a copy of the 2024 salary schedule. Are there any questions on it? And I'll ask for a motion to approve the 2024 salary schedule. I'm asking for the motion.
Second.
No, not a second. I need a motion.
Motion.
Thank you.
Oh. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So carried. Now, the employee benefits are listed in the employee handbook or the union contracts for police, highway, and sanitation. Mileage compensation will be 67 cents per mile. You all have a copy of the holiday schedule. If you ask for a motion to approve the holiday schedule,
Motion?
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So carried. Town Board, all our meetings and our procedures will be conducted according to Robert's rules. Exceptions are by a supermajority vote. That's in Robert's rules. I'm guessing Ty is not coming, or he is coming?
He's in the restroom.
Okay. Regular meetings will be held at 7 p.m. on the second and fourth Monday of each month. Exceptions and special meetings will be advertised in accordance with town law. Powers and duties of the supervisor. The supervisor is the chief executive officer of the town. The supervisor presides at town board meetings and is assigned by the town board certain additional duties and responsibilities as a result of his statutory role as town treasurer. The supervisor is the marriage officer if appointed by the town. I'll ask for a motion on that.
Motion?
To appoint the supervisor, marriage
Yes.
officer?
Yes.
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So carried. I will appoint Richard Sullivan as deputy supervisor. That's one of the few appointments I have to make. Our depositories will be New York Class and Chase. Petty cash funds are distributed as follows. The court gets $200 for each clerk. Town clerk gets $200. Recreation, $100. Police, $100. And receiver of taxes, $50. Accounting duties, I'll make a motion that Kelly Picaro would be assigned to accounting duties. That's a motion.
I'll second it.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. You've all gotten the investment policy. Are there any questions on it? The right person is out in our audience if there are any questions. Okay, I have a resolution to adopt procurement guidelines. Now, the guidelines are 4 pages long. That sets in print everything that we need to do if we're going to buy something up to $250, up to and over $20,000 or $35,000. So there are no questions. I'll ask for a motion to adopt a resolution on procurement guidelines.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Sullivan.
Aye.
Councilmember King.
Aye.
Councilmember Sporbert.
Aye.
Supervisor Livesey.
Aye. Our investment policy. Town funds may be invested in time deposit accounts in a bank located or authorized to do business in New York State. Certificates of deposit issued by a bank located and authorized to do business in New York State. Time deposit accounts are non-interest bearing and include money market deposit accounts, United States government-issued treasury bills or notes, and New York Cooperative Liquid Assets Signature System, that's New York Class in short. And that's it. So that's where we can invest our money. I'll ask for a motion to approve the investment policy.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So carried, thank you.
Did you do the official newspaper?
Did I leave it out, or?
Yeah.
Did. 11F.
Oh, okay, I just didn't get there yet.
Sorry.
The official newspaper of the town of Highlands, I'll make a motion that it be the News of the Highlands and/or the Times Herald Record.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
So carried, thank you. Okay, the petty cash funds we did. I must have skipped over top of that, yeah. Dues, blah, blah. Okay, the rules for opening competitive bills, very simply, the supervisor and the town clerk must be present or their respective deputies. The annual audit will be done by RBT LLC. And what does RBT stand for, Kelly? Come on.
Really better together.
I worked for a company called Bunch of Brothers one time. Every check bounced.
Now, the town controller will do an annual audit. Controller will conduct an audit of all town entities at least once a year, or when deemed necessary, at the controller's discretion, or when required by the supervisor or the town board. I don't have a list of existing contracts. We'll bring that out at the next meeting. And who do we have going to the Association of Towns in the city?
I think just Nancy.
Just Nancy?
So far?
Okay, we're going to ask you, if necessary, down there to be the delegate of the town. They may have a meeting on,
It's on Wednesday.
It's on a
You have to go,
Wednesday.
and they have like, they give you little like auction paddles to say yes or no. It's kind of cute.
So
All right.
if you could represent the town at that meeting, then we'd appreciate it. We pay for the transportation, room, and what do we authorize for meals?
$50 a day.
$50 a day for meals. Okay. Now, is there anything I missed?
I don't think so.
Supervisor, do you need a motion and a second to appoint Nancy as the delegate?
We can, yes.
You made the motion, Bob?
I'll make a motion, we appoint Councilwoman Sporvit as our delegate to the annual meeting of the Association of Towns.
Second.
Good.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
You'll get a lot out of it, Nancy, but watch out for the vultures. You have about 100 vendors there trying to sell you stuff.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we'll go into our regular meeting. Is there any public comment for items that are on the agenda? Any public comment? Yes, ma'am.
I would like to ask a question.
Would you please, come up to the microphone and tell us who you are and where you live?
Hi, my name is Dr. Nicole Lawton-Bowles. I live in Center Street in Highland Falls, the village of Highland Falls. And I have a couple of questions. This recent flood that just passed us, we can't get flood insurance because we're not considered a flood zone. Also, under the SBA hub zoning status, we're not considered hub zone either. So the problem is with people who, since COVID, people have been working from home like myself, with our businesses and everything, and trying to get funding to repair damages from FEMA, from SBA, has been totally impossible. You know, I need to renovate the entire house because I have flood damage and I have ceiling damage from the water. And trying to get the funding, the only funding the businesses, which I have a business listed at my home because of COVID and everything, and we're not getting any money. I'm getting to run around, you know, it's ridiculous. And then come to find out, we're not even declared a hub zone. I have proof here that we're not even qualified. So who's in charge of making these decisions to bring businesses here? Because when I first moved here, this was a flourishing town. This was business, it was people going up and down the street all the time of day. You know, you was able to make money. Now you can't even make no money here anymore. So who's in charge of declaring that SBA declares us as hub zone, that FEMA declares us a flood zone, a disaster area, so people can get payment? They're only giving funding businesses, they're not even funding homeowners anymore. We have a migration of immigrants coming who is getting public assistance, Section 8. I work for the State of New York Department of Homeless Services. I see this every day. But the people who pay taxes are suffering. And you have all these people in power and nobody's doing anything for the people who live here, who pay the taxes, who pay your salary. So that's my question.
Okay, FEMA, we've met with, and FEMA will only, at this time, and I don't see it changing, FEMA will only fund the municipality, boy, couldn't that word out. FEMA will only, so we meet with FEMA almost every week now, but having to do with the damages done in Fort Montgomery outside of the village, because we're the town. The village is doing the same thing. They're meeting with FEMA weekly, and FEMA has made it clear that they'll pay 75% of our cost. 25% is up to us. Hopefully, the state will pay half of that 25%. That we haven't got a promise nor a denial on that. As far as individual assistance from FEMA, there is none, and they've made it clear that there won't be any. Now, I know that doesn't help you, but that's it. That's the way it is. And as far as the hub, what is?
It's a SBA hub zone.
Right, so it's another, the SBA is...
I have information here that I can give you, because I printed it out.
Okay, well, since you're in the village, though, you would have to go to a village meeting, which is...
But this affects the whole Orange town with this hub zoning. It's not just the village, it's the town itself. And Orange County is not even declared a hub zone.
Oh, all right.
For businesses to flourish. So that's why, if you want this...
I'll take your paperwork, yes, and I'll see what if anything...
Thank you.
So Orange County is not even declared a hub zone for
Okay.
business to create business. That's why this is dying. Because there's no incentive on bringing business here.
I understand.
In regard to the IA, what was it, about 2.5 months ago, FEMA denied it, and then the ball goes into Kathy Hochul's court. The governor appealed it, I think about a month ago, and so I don't know if that's going to go anywhere, but that's how the cookie crumbles there. She did appeal it. I don't know what happens now or how long till a decision comes. That's for individual assistance, so.
Yeah, because my neighbor down the street lost everything, because they're right at the runoff. You know, and the insurance companies have went up on everybody's insurance. I was even dropped from my insurance that I had for 5 years because of what happened here. So the effects is, what is going to happen eventually is that people are going to pack up and go other places. Because there's no incentive for living here anymore. There's no incentive for creating a business here anymore. So someone needs to figure that out.
We'll take a look at this.
All right, because
Okay.
in Las Vegas, the casinos pay the state tax. So everybody that retires from New York have moved to Vegas or Florida, where it's easier to live and create a business.
I follow you,
All right.
but thank you very much. Anyone else? Public comment? Okay. Our last minutes, the minutes of December the 11th. I need an approval.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So carried, thank you. I have a lot of papers here, so please excuse me while I'm going through these. Communications. There will be a tribute to Charlie Durning on Saturday, the 27th of January, from 12 noon to 2 p.m. This will be at the Highland Falls Library, put on by the Town of Highlands Historical Society. They're going to have a film and light refreshments. So that's January the 27th 12 to 2. Aaron Falk, our Recreation Director, would like to hire 2 winter hires, is what he calls them. Kelly, he's got the money, I guess, in his budget for that. That would be Madison Copeland and Kyle Salva. Both of them would be working, I guess, the basketball. Do I have a motion to allow Aaron to hire these 2?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So,
Do you happen to know, they're not the referees, right? You may not know that.
I do know, one's score table for the scorebook, and one is score table for the 6 to 8.
Okay.
So score tables.
I think the referees come from a different source.
On Tuesday, this is under communications, by the way. Tuesday, January 23rd, the county executive is hosting a roundtable meeting at 11 a.m. at the Orange County Emergency Services Center. For the purpose of this meeting is to discuss, among other items, ambulance EMS operations in our municipalities. The legislative director of the New York SAC. Anybody know what that is? New York SAC. Anyway, he'll be in attendance, as well as other individuals who will address this topic. I plan on going. Anyone else would like to go, and most certainly get together with me. We can share a car going up. Ty, would you like to touch on Martin Luther King Day?
Yes. You want me to do it now?
Yeah.
Okay, so, good evening, everyone, first of all, and good evening, everyone at home. So we're coming upon our 30th annual Martin Luther King Jr. Celebration here in the town of Highlands, which was founded by the late Reverend Jesse Claiborne Sr. and his wife, Miss Barbara Joyce Claiborne of Highland Falls, New York, out of St. Mark's Baptist Church. And so the 15th of January is the celebration of MLK Day. And what we'll do here is start the march at Sacred Heart as usual. The lineup time is between 10:30 a.m. and 10:45 a.m. on Main Street adjacent to Sacred Heart. And we're going to go for a short march from there to Memorial Park. And at Memorial Park, there will be a brief celebration as usual. Our keynote speaker this year is Colonel Retired Jennifer Hicks McGowan, formerly the head of personnel over at West Point. And I think she retired maybe 1.5, 2 years ago, and now is teaching down at a college in New Jersey, but she's going to be our guest speaker. And we have this year, I'm proud to say that a lot of participation, a lot of folks want to participate in various ways, whether it be recite some poetry or read something about MLK, and I'm talking about children and folks from the schools. And so if you're not doing anything and you're in the community and in the vicinity of Highland Falls, come on out and celebrate with us. Let's build on the success of last year. We had a great turnout with Reverend Patrice Kemp as the speaker last year, and this year we'll have an equally dynamic speaker. So that's what we're doing for MLK Day.
Since you're on the floor, you can continue with any other report you have.
Well, I talked with and you're probably going to talk more into detail about this, Chief, but I just wanted you to know I'm abreast of what's going on. I saw an email from you, and then I spoke with Kathy, the dog catcher, in regards to what we're doing. We're trying to make some improvements in that realm. So, but I'm going to punt the ball to you when you get your turn just to talk about more details if you like. Other than that, I always want to convey to our veterans out there in the community, which there are several, by the way. I'm starting to realize that there's more than I knew when I even came back from the military to my hometown here. And so what we found is that some of the same issues that we deal with nationally, we deal with here, with folks either underemployed or unemployed. And then, of course, the issue that's near and dear to most of us, if you know anything about veterans, that's those 22 suicides per day. And we have also been touched right here in Highland Falls in New York. So for those out there that may be hurting, then we want to share with you the way to get some relief is dial 988, and that's the suicide hotline if you need it. But certainly you can always reach out to me directly. Our numbers, you can reach me through the town of Highlands here, and I'll do my best to help you with all the resources that I know of to help with reducing stress and anxiety and even post-traumatic stress. That's it for me.
Thank you, sir.
Subject to anybody's questions.
Councilman Sullivan, you might as well give a report now, too.
Okay. So the Zoning Board of Appeals met on the 20th of December. I couldn't attend because the Battle Site had their Christmas party that night. They will meet on the 17th of this month, third Wednesday at 7 p.m. here. And several previous properties are re-engaging their approach for a couple of area variances. I think they have 2 on their agenda. After this, Nancy will be their liaison. I talked to Jack Janarone tonight about that. She's going to make a meeting, or Jack and I will have a meeting to talk about what's going down, and the ball will be in her court. They're a good organization. Planning. I attended a planning board meeting on December the 21st, the third, was that one right? On the third Thursday of the month. I think it was on the 21st. It was on the 21st. 915 Route 9W is there. That's a Scarborough property. And it was a pretty good meeting. They're prepared, at least in stature, to move forward. And it was a good meeting. I think they're moving forward with their stuff before the planning board. In parallel to that, when I get to the building report, they're doing some things with the building which are moving forward, and I won't go too much into detail. There's one room that might have a square footage problem, but aside from that, that project is by and large moving forward. At the planning board meeting, Bear Mountain Pizza was on the agenda, but they did not attend. I'm going to follow up on that in a minute. So for the building department, I'm going to throw at you, Melanie reads off the reports at the village meetings. I'm not going to read the monthly report. I'm going to read the annual report. So for 2023, Village of Highland Falls had 179 applications. The town had 52. The Village of Highland Falls had 161 permits. The town had 48. Village of Highland Falls had 207 complaints. The town had 46 projects. The Village of Highland Falls had 143, and the town had 129. I'm not quite sure what defines a project. I have to get back to you on that. And inspections, physical inspections. In the Village of Highland Falls, 608 inspections were performed, and 190 were performed in the town. Not all of those inspections were by Philip. We have a consultant firm that did a good number of them, and they do almost all of the fire inspections. I could read all 2022, take what I just read, and take 2/3 of that, and that's basically what you have. So also, in the building department, I am pleased to announce that a building permit for Bear Mountain Pizza, as it was before, returning to their downstairs operations, is waiting Bob's signature on his desk downstairs. So they'll be getting out of that truck and moving forward soon, okay? So that was a long, hard grind, but they're there. On the sewer, the DMR discharge monitoring report, is not done yet. I sign off on it. It's only the beginning of the month. When Jimmy does his part, I sign off. I'll have those numbers at the next meeting. With water, in December, the town water districts 1 and 2 collectively average 70,400 gallons per day. A year and a half ago, that was 115,000 gallons per day. We're doing good. I attended the Village Comprehensive Plan meeting on Saturday a week ago. It was pretty well attended. I think they have a couple of public hearings to go into and didn't really take much more than that away from that. I also attended the Village Board meeting last Wednesday night. They picked on us a little bit, but we're okay. And I made some comments in regard to the recent water letter, the tank in Fort Montgomery, and we really do have a tank. Does not get water from any wells, hasn't for about 15 years, and a couple of other things. It was a pretty good meeting. The Citizens Environmental Advisory Committee will meet in Town Hall here this Friday at, is it 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, Olga? 6, okay? We have a couple of new members and looking forward to some new energy. And I want to thank Olga. We won that award I brought up last month from the, the New York Regency Council, is that it? Hudson Valley Regional Council, okay? And I was going to read off something really inspirational about Charlie Durning and the Historical Society, but Bob already did that, so that's it. I'm good.
Thank you. And Councilwoman Swarbrick, do you have anything?
Just with the ambulance corps, because I'm getting up to speed on the other assignments, so I checked in with Kristen, the president, and the only thing I have to report is that they had crews that stood by during the storm this weekend, and as usual, they will also keep a crew that's standing by at the ambulance corps in case of bad weather tomorrow to see what that brings. Other than that, good evening to everyone and everyone at home, but otherwise, that's all I have.
Thank you. Thank you. Is everybody okay with their liaison assignments?
Yeah.
No.
No, okay.
So, you want to talk about it now?
Yeah, sure. I can't find my copy. I was going to read it off, but that's all right. Go
And
ahead.
when I say I'm not okay, it's not that I'm not okay. I saw my colleagues' comments, Councilman Joe DeWitt, in regards to the emergency management. And it made me believe that because he is already immersed in engaging the village, mayor in particular, I'm thinking, based off a conversation with him, maybe me and him need to switch, and he can take that one. I've had it for a few years now. I like it, but he seems to be really engaged, so maybe I want to share the wealth, let him get a shot. And so, but I'll talk to him about that. I want to bring that up publicly, though.
Okay, no, that's fine.
He seems like he's all over it, though.
Yeah. I'll agree with you on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the only one. Other than that, I thought I was going to recommend to you add something, if you would consider it something regarding veterans specifically, and then I'll take it.
No kidding.
Because you always pass veteran stuff to me anyway.
I do. I give you, if it says Army, veteran, anything on there, it goes to you.
Supervisor Lindsay, I put a list of the assignments right at your left hand there.
Thank you.
Welcome.
You're still keeping yours.
No, I got some changes. And that's fine. I've been doing planning and zoning for 25 years. So, Bob has moved me to highway. I wish it was next year because their contract's up this year. And the last time I was involved at that, I did my job. Not everybody liked what was written up, but I had it signed before the end of the year. Before that, I think it went on like a year before we had it resolved. So that's going to be something.
Yes.
Around about June, I'm going to call them up. I'm going to say, let's get ready, boys, and let's have this done before the end of the year, so.
Very good.
And if you want someone else with me, whoever, if you got some spare time, Ty, you want to help out,
All right, so I'm going to give you a backup.
Thank you.
That way I can learn a little bit about the subject.
And anyway, liaisons, this means that each member of the town board, I assign them a specific area that I like for them to keep an eye on, if that's the right way. And that doesn't mean that Ty can't look into planning board if he wants, but it's specifically, Dial-a-Bus, Joe DeWitt will be taking care of it. Recreation, Joe DeWitt. Seniors, Ty King. I don't know why I would make him seniors, but. Ethics, Nancy Sporbit. Police, Ty King. Ambulance, Nancy Sporbit. Disaster Preparedness, Ty King. Substance Abuse, Ty King. Information Technology, Joe DeWitt. Assessor, Nancy Sporbit. Building Department, Rich Sullivan. Planning Board, Nancy Sporbit. Zoning Board, Nancy Sporbit. Highway, Sanitation, Sewer Department, and Water Department, Rich Sullivan. West Point and Village Public Relations, Joe DeWitt. Town and Village Business Relations, Joe DeWitt. And then I will be doing budget and working budget with the controller, treasurer, insurance, communications, parks, marriage officer, and dog control, excepting for the payroll, which the chief takes care of.
Bob, with our town, because I'm proud for the most part. Justin's been with the planning board now for what, 20 years almost? I was on the planning board when Justin first came on board. It was always a good planning board. It needed some rules added to it, and sometimes those rules are a little bit relaxed, because people want to have businesses here and whatnot. But like, you can't put a nuclear repository in your backyard in an R1 zone. I say that, facetiously, because you have to have, if you're going to have zoning, then you have to have a zoning board of appeals by law. You do not have to have a planning board. There's a lot of towns upstate where they don't have any people living there, where the town board would do both. We would be foolish to do that. It's a specialty thing. They do a good job. They've been together a long time. You watch them talk. They're gentlemen with each other. They discuss things. They're tough on applicants, but they're fair at the same time. And like, I'm going to boast just a little bit. Fort Montgomery. Let's drive south through Fort Montgomery. I've done this before. You have Bosch's Garage. You have the liquor store. You have the hotel. By the way, the hotel has an approval for another building of the same size. That approval exists right now. You have David Favor's Body Shop. You have the mobile station. You have Barnstormers. The Carvela's empty. You have the Bear Mountain Bridge Motel. You have a car dealership. You have a motorcycle dealership. You go down the road, you have a very fine delicatessen right next to Perullo Electric there. And you have Dunkin' Donuts, and you have Bear Mountain Pizza, which is going to be open in full, probably in the next 2 weeks. And then you have Bob's Restaurant, and I may have missed a few things. That's not a main street, that's a 9W, highway. I think that's pretty good. And that was designed by our master plan back in 2006 to take that shape. And I think it turned out pretty good. That's just my opinion. I'm not comparing it to Highland Falls. I'm just saying the planning board is now consolidated. Back when it was separate, I think they did a very good job and they had good vision. We don't have a zoning department with their own secretary or a planning department with their own secretary. We have Gabrielle, who is bilingual. She knows what needs to go where. She coordinates things. So I think you'll find, Nancy, the building department is a part of it. I think you'll find that it works pretty good. At least in my opinion, it works pretty good. So that's it.
Thank you. As your treasurer, I transferred on the 13th of December, I transferred $111,468 into our paying account. $33,797 went for compensation insurance. Legal was $9,478. Rockland County Solid Waste, $16,046. Diesel fuel, $4,129. Then I also transferred from the consolidated account to the paying account on the 20th of December, $115,697. Let's see, $111.11 went to chargebacks to Commissioner of Finance. O&R was $9,508. TAM was $11,302 for a sewer pump rebuild. Rockland County Solid Waste, $32,752 for tipping fees. Chemung Company, $8,138 for guide rails. Then I also transferred more money on the 28th of December, $42,760 for health, dental, and vision for the employees. Any questions on the transfers? All right. Chief, you have any comments?
Let's see. How much time do I have?
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Can I have 3 since it might be the last time I do this? 3? Okay, anyway.
It's not going to be the last time either. We're not getting rid of you that easy. Go ahead.
Okay, 2023, we responded to 6,388 calls, of which 3,401 were directed patrol assignments. So 50%, I told them they had to do something and they did it and documented it. The other 50% were calls for service that came in from the public. We handled 79 cases, made 19 arrests, responded to 168 motor vehicle accidents, 66 medical calls. We made 1,138 traffic stops and issued 581 traffic tickets. And I know people have asked, well, why is there a 50% traffic ticket to traffic stop ratio? And some of that's because of electronic malfunctions where the printers in the cars wouldn't print the tickets. So, and some are just officer discretion. I've been gathering estimates to rebuild our dog pound. So far, Dog Control has requested estimates from 3 companies that will prefabricate meeting the new 2025 Department of Agriculture market specifications. Does not make sense to build it to today's specs when in a year, we're going to have to upgrade it. Only 2 companies have responded with an estimate. One was for $64,000 and the other one was for $72,000. One of our officers did let me know that when it rains heavy, water runs down Mine Dock Road, comes down the mountain there above where our dog pound was, and about 3 or 4 inches of water runs right over where our dog pound was and will be going again. So we might want to check out drainage there if we're putting a new building
Absolutely.
there. So far that's it with Dog Control.
Okay.
Staffing still remains an issue. We're trying, right now, two potential candidates are in the middle of their background investigation and having their psychological exam done. So hopefully within the next couple of weeks, they'll be coming on board and starting their field training. The new civil service list, if we even want to consider full-time officers, is pretty much picked through. Village of Walden hired 6 people. 5 of the 6 are going to the police academy in March. And I do not know how many certified individuals are going to be on the new list when it comes out. Present an issue. However, we do have 2 officers working for us now who are on the current civil service list. So they would not require training, equipping, if we decide to go that route. And should I leave the topic from before for you, or you want me to bring it up now?
Bring it up now.
Okay. Over the last several days, the town supervisor and I have interviewed candidates off of the chief's list in an effort to find my replacement, because as everybody knows, I've decided that I'm going to retire, hopefully by the middle of next month. Out of the 6 people who were on the list, 7 people expressed interest, 6 people were on the civil service list. Out of the 6, the 3 who were reachable on the list expressed interest. All 3 were interviewed, and 1, as far as I was concerned, and I believe I'm speaking for the town supervisor, 1 stood out a little bit different from, a little more than the others.
That happens to be a gentleman by the name of Joseph Burns, who is currently a lieutenant with the city of Newburgh Police. He'll be retiring in 12 months, and he'll be in the same category as our present chief. He's looking for a deputy chief's job that he can work during his retirement. So the other 2 members of the town board interviewed him tonight, just before the meeting, and I would like to offer a motion to hire Joseph Burns as deputy chief at the current salary schedule, which is, I think, $35,000.
There was a range.
Kelly? What's the salary schedule?
30,553.97.
Okay. What she said.
I will second that motion.
Okay.
Can I recommend, since he is currently working in an administrative capacity, and I already spoke to the City of Newburgh Police Chief, I'd like to recommend that you make a minimum probation instead of maximum for that appointment. That's just my recommendation.
What's a minimum?
Minimum is 12 weeks.
You have to look it up if it's different for police.
12 sounds right to me, but yeah, we'd have to confirm. But if,
I would prefer to make it a maximum probation. But that's me. Everybody else agree? Maximum probation?
Since I didn't get a chance to talk to him, I say maximum.
Okay, okay. Okay, so I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I seconded it.
Oh, okay, and I'm going to do a roll call.
Sure. Councilmember Sullivan?
Aye.
Councilmember King?
Aye.
Councilmember Swarber?
Aye.
Supervisor Lindsay?
Aye. Please notify him. Come in and see Kelly and her department and get things squared away.
Okay? And just we're in the process of temporarily relocating from the station, so it could be repaired after the flooding.
Did you get anything moved in the boxes yet?
No, they just got delivered today.
I know, I saw them out there, yeah.
They're there.
Are they okay? They're going to work?
They should work fine where they are.
Yeah, okay.
We'll see if they need a little shoring once the ice that they're sitting on melts, but that should be fine the way it is.
Good. For those who, in the audience that don't know, our ambulance corps and our police department are being forced to move out of the building so that the mold can be taken care of by ripping down parts of the walls, the floor, whatever else they got to do. They can't be in the building while this is being done. They're moving up the road to the, what's the name of the motel? Fairbridge Motel. They'll be working out of the motel, so if you see their cars parked in front of the motel, it's business. Okay.
Did everybody I sent out a little PDF about the empty school building. Everybody got that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty thorough. That's from back when I was on the school board, so, you know.
Okay. Justin, do you have anything for us? Kelly, you have anything for us?
just agenda items.
Yeah, okay. Purchase of police cars. Kelly, now you have something for us.
Oh,
Chief wants to buy 2 cars,
right.
and do we have the money? And What's the
We're not
story?
quite finished with 2023 yet, and I think when Frank and I looked at it, we estimated between 80 and 100,000 left in the personal services line that could be transferred to the reserve fund and used to purchase the vehicles. Plus, he has a couple of grants.
Okay, so
30,000?
One is 30, one is 20 left over from the insurance payout for the vehicle damage in the flood, and the other is about 25,000 from Senator Scoopus.
okay, and so the total cost of the vehicles would be approximately,
Approximately $58,000 apiece, provided they do not sell them off the lot right now, and provided they don't have to restock them, which would cause the price to go up.
okay, Kelly, you're fairly certain we've got enough money in?
Yeah.
I'll ask for a motion to allow the chief to purchase 2 police cars.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So carried, thank you. Justin, now I'm going to put you to work.
Certainly.
Local law number 1, exemptions for volunteer services.
Correct. So you have before you a local law amending your current exemptions for volunteer firefighters and volunteer ambulance workers. It's been in existence for several years. The state has changed their law, and the assessor and the state, in essence, have recommended changes wherein to help in the recruiting and retaining of volunteers, changing the exemption from 5 years to 2 years on the in the organization, and having a flat 10% of assessed value. Previously, you capped the amount, and the assessor made those recommendations to you, so that's what the local law describes. This would also set a public hearing for the 22nd day of January at 7 o'clock.
Okay, I have a resolution to introduce and schedule a public hearing to receive public comments concerning the enactment of local law amending Article 4 to Chapter 179 entitled Taxation of the Code of the Town of Highlands, Volunteer Firefighters, Volunteer Ambulance Workers Exemption. The public hearing would be, as Justin just said, on the 22nd day of January, which is our next meeting, at 7 p.m. Do I have the second to the motion, or do I have a motion to move the resolution?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Sullivan?
Aye.
Councilmember King?
Aye.
Councilmember Scorbitt, so sorry.
Aye.
Supervisor Lipsey?
Aye.
Bob, so the ambulance corps is attached to us. The fire commissioners are not. They do a very good job, and if you remember about a year ago, I go to their meetings once in a while. They're a great organization, so if anybody's watching, this is only to be informative. This thing that Justin sent us, I'm going to forward to them so that they know about this public hearing on the 22nd. I think they'll be fine. And I just want to congratulate, I forgot to bring it up, you have Donnie Smith and Greg Marr were just voted in as commissioners. There's 5 of them. And I don't know if they have a chairman at the moment, but I'm going to see to it that they know about that.
Good. That sounds great. One more, Justin.
Certainly, and similarly, but this would be introductory local law number 2, and it would be amending 2 sections of your code, 179.1 and 179.13, which create property tax exemptions for persons 65 years of age or over, and for persons with disabilities and limited incomes. Again, you've had these in place for several years. The assessor, in coordination with the county has recently raised their income thresholds for the first time in several years, and the assessor was recommending being consistent with the county levels. Similarly, you had not increased your thresholds for several years. So this would modestly increase the income levels at the 50% exemption, and you have exemptions anywhere from 5% to 50%. And this would increase those income levels to match the county levels, again, for both persons with disabilities and limited incomes, and persons 65 years of age or over.
Okay, I have a resolution to introduce and schedule a public hearing for exemptions for persons 65 years of age or over, and for persons with disabilities and limited incomes. This public hearing would be on the 22nd day of January at 7:10, or to follow the other public hearing. Do I have a motion to move?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Sullivan?
Aye.
Councilmember King?
Aye.
Councilmember Scorber?
Aye.
Supervisor Lindsay?
Aye. Okay.
I would take note that in Justin's resolutions, he has changed it to there's council person, councilwoman, so you're being accounted for, Nancy.
Appreciate that.
This is the guy we just,
Thank you.
Justin, how are we doing with the drainage system on Canterbury Road for John Montalone?
Sure. So, again, this was a resident who made a request after the July 9th storm event. There were damages done to town infrastructure that go onto his property. Those repairs have all been made, but there's not an easement in place. He wants to see an easement put in place between the town and the owner. The only issue is, and we've done that on several projects throughout the town over the years, so the base documentation is fairly straightforward, but it's getting an accurate description of where those pipes are located on any individual property. And so normally, there would be a surveyor who does that work, so we have an accurate depiction of that. It wasn't clear to me whether he had offered to pay for any of that surveying, or whether the town was hiring a surveyor to complete that work. Your engineers, Lankin Tully, have surveyors, so I don't think, it's not a large project, but I just didn't know who was moving forward in charge of that aspect of it, the description for the easement.
Okay, are you going to handle this? I mean, is it going to?
That's fine. If you authorize me to spend your money, I'll get Lankin Tully to do it. I can't do that without you knowing you'd have to pay your experts to.
They did the water tank about a year and a half ago, so they're reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very modest project in size and scope. I just didn't want to make that call without the board being aware.
Anybody on the board have any objection to Lankin Tully doing this to get John Montalone to?
No.
All right, Justin, you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'll reach out to John O'Rourke tomorrow.
Okay. Olga, I want to thank you for, I received your report today via email. Would you like to come up and say something about the Citizens Advisory Committee?
Okay. Hi, Olga Anderson. Yeah, I submitted on behalf of the Citizens Environmental Advisory Committee our end-of-year report, which outlined on a month-to-month basis what we've been doing, just so you know, we've been doing. And so I think if the board has any questions, comments, and if not, I would ask that Kelly upload it to our committee page that we have on the town website. That will give access to the public about, to read that. I can also put it out on our Facebook. While I'm up here, I'd just like to remind everybody we're kicking off our clean heating and cooling campaign soon. We have written an article that hopefully Mary Jane will be able to fit in a paper in the next week or so. I will be having an information table at the Winter Market on January 20th and the first Saturday of February, where I will present information to folks who are looking at replacing their heating systems, maybe some air conditioning. We have access to services through the state that can provide free assessments. We actually have a wonderful company that's a NYSERDA certified heating contractor, DNK. They're right here in our community. They'll be happy to provide people with information estimates to see if what's suitable for them. But the good news is this is an opportunity to replace old tech with new tech and go towards a cleaner energy future. So I welcome anybody who has questions to contact me.
Thank you. Thank you. And now, anybody else have any public comment on anything?
Hi, Alina Olivia, village resident. I just have a question about the Channel 23, the live feed that's supposed to be to the TV. I checked with my daughter this evening. She's at home, and it's reading no video input.
No
so
video,
it's not
I
even
know.
on at all. So where exactly is the problem? What's going on with the broadcast there? Is it a problem like within our municipality, or is it from the broadcasting company?
It's a problem from Spectrum.
Okay.
That's where the problem is. They are aware of it. We keep reminding them we need something done. The only alternative we have is she's recording right now on camera. That'll be on YouTube tomorrow. But I really wish I had a good answer for you on that, but we're bewildered. We have from Spectrum $5,000 that we can use to buy equipment. Our problem is we don't know what equipment we need. Spectrum doesn't have anyone that they can send to us to tell us, well, you need a new this or a new that. We're kind of stuck, but believe me, we are doing our best. And if you notice during the daytime, you have the messages come out.
Right.
Well, we start off in the morning, it says no video input. Like magic, maybe 9, 10 o'clock, all of a sudden, bingo, it comes on. Tonight, it was on all day long, and just prior to the meeting, bingo, it went off. I don't have an answer.
Okay. And one other thing, I've mentioned it a couple times before, and I actually did receive an email from Gary Boyce about the liquid that's dripping out of the back of the garbage truck. He informed me towards the end of October that the seal was supposed to be delivered and installed, and I'm just curious if that has actually happened or not. Just this past week, I was leaving my street following the truck, and dribbling out of the back it was. So I just want to maybe have somebody check in on
Well, we have a new councilman that's in charge of the...
Thank you.
I'm sure it'll be taken care of, right?
Okay, great.
Right,
Maybe
Rich?
just check on it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Gary and I go back to that garage. I think it was in the 70s I first started working with them in sanitation, so I'll have an answer for you at the next meeting.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to touch on something.
Sure.
Again, good evening. My name is Dr. Nicole Tumbles. You said Spectrum. We're at the mercy of Spectrum. What about getting Verizon Fios or some other competition where we have an option?
No one has asked us or proposed coming into our town with any sort of a contract or an agreement. Spectrum has a contract for the town and village, 2 separate contracts. But right now, Spectrum's the only one we have.
Okay, and then I want to touch on something you said. You said the restaurant Brainstorm was open? The Brainstorm, in...
Bear Mountain Pizza?
No,
Barnstormers?
Yeah, I don't think they're open anymore because I haven't seen any traffic.
Sign was on tonight when I drove up here.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was there a couple of weeks ago. I don't know his schedule, but...
It's closed on Tuesdays.
It's closed on Tuesdays?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Also, you know, even though you live in the village, we still pay taxes to the town with
Yeah.
school and January. So to just say, oh, you know, we gotta take it up with the village, it's kind of like I'm paying taxes both places, so.
Well, the particular issue you were talking about would have to be the village initiating it. But I'm going to read through your stuff, and you said that would
Yeah,
affect the
actually,
whole
it's a
town
county
or the
thing, because
county.
Orange County's not declared
Yeah.
a hub zone for business to get any type of government contracting, funding, or anything. We've never been declared a hub zone, and I've been here since 2001. You know.
I would never pass anything off on the village, believe me.
And then also, I want to touch on what you said about the veterans. Recently, one of the veterans just lost their home into foreclosure, and she's no longer here anymore. She's with her family in Florida, but the point is, her house has been condemned. FEMA took it over, and my problem here is that my dad served in the Navy, so I'm a Navy brat. So veterans serve this country, they put their life on the line for us to have freedom and everything. Why are they can't keep their homes? Why is the county Supreme Court judges just giving veterans home away and not allowing them to keep it? You understand what I mean? And U.S. Bank Trust has all these mortgages that they receive from the mortgage crash, the Madoff or whoever, and most of homes that are wrapped up in these trusts are from veterans, low-income families, and everything. And from what I understand, U.S. Bank got a few properties in Highland Falls. It's like they're trying to buy up Highland Falls and push people out, and the judges in Supreme Court are letting them. And no one's doing anything about it. When I first moved here, it was because they was giving grants to people who never had a home and stuff before, and that's how I got my home. And I should not have to be looking at foreclosure because this is a low-income, supposed to be a low-income home, and dealing with U.S. Bank Trust, and the court's not even understanding that this is mortgage fraud. U.S. Bank Trust is owned by Credit Suisse. Fannie Mae is part of the problem. And there's no zoning, when you go into the hub thing to find for housing counseling, there's no housing counseling in this area at all. Everything's in Rockland County or Westchester. No one's doing anything about the people who live here, and a lot of people have lost their homes. A lot of people have become homeless. Homelessness is a problem. But yet you got immigrants coming over who's crossing the border and getting everything. And that's my problem. And especially when a veteran loses their home, that is a problem for me.
Well, I appreciate you bringing that to our attention. This is the first I heard of that.
Well, I've been speaking to the congressman, trying to contact the president. I've been writing everybody that would listen, can't get no response. So I'm just, this is a platform, so I'm gonna use this platform to put out there. U.S. Bank Trust is part of Credit Suisse. Credit Suisse have committed crimes. Select Portfolio Servicing is another mortgage fraud company, and no one's investigating them. Credit Suisse, U.S. Bank Trust, Eckert & Siemens is a law firm that pushes all these foreclosures to Supreme Court in front of the Orange County Supreme Court judges, and these Supreme Court judges are giving the homes away to these banks, then they don't have proper paperwork. They have fraudulent paperwork to get these people homes, and no one's doing anything about it.
I'll tell you, if you contact our Congressman, Pat Ryan,
I have.
I'm sure he'll sit down and have a one-on-one conversation with you. You've got to make an appointment, of course, but
I know.
give him a call.
No, he's good. I've worked with his office a few times.
Okay.
Because my dad was in the Korean War, and I'm trying to get him recognized because of his being black, he was never recognized for his service in the United States Navy Korean War. So I'm working with them on doing that now. So.
Excellent, good.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Yes. For a motion to go into executive session to discuss police personnel. It won't be too long, though.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.